Hello, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, because even though this show will air on Friday on Podcast One, it is Valentine's Day today. We are filming this on Wednesday morning. It is Grandpa Vince wearing his wife's glasses. I'm here with little Sami Zayn, and I am joined by the great star maker, Kenny Bolin, and Miss Maya Doodle. How are you guys doing today?
Man, I have scooped you today to the nth level. You're sitting there with little Sami Zayn, and I'm sitting here with the love of my life, 2 Cal, and Maya.
That's the scoop, bro. That's the scoop, Kenny Bolin.
Yeah, I got double love over here. Got the 2 Cal, got
one and a half.
Got the doodle.
I was hoping you had some dirt for me, bro, because I'm going through all my sites this morning, and I mean it's very, very, very light, bro. There's nothing out there, so I was hoping maybe Mr. Bolin had some heavy duty dirt to hit on me.
It's a good thing one of us prepares for these shows. It's a good thing that one of us gets up early in the AM, does his research. Normally that's you. Well, for some weird reason, I actually thought of a topic or two today. And what do we normally open these shows with, Vince? And just to double check, is the audio good over there? I sound a little loud over here, but the meters are not showing that. So is we good audio wise?
You're beautiful, bro. You sound beautiful over here.
And by the way, Maya just lost a bet because she said that you would compliment my hair within 30 seconds, and you haven't done it yet.
But I will. I got to ease into that. You know, I don't want to come on too strong because then I got nowhere to go. You know what I mean?
Valentine's Day, Vince. It's fine. You got to show love, Raleigh. And happy Valentine's Day to all 9 of my girlfriends out there. Not all of you got gifts. Some of you did. And but here's what we got. And this is going to be a controversial subject, but I think it needs to be covered. Our little friend, not Sammy's looking at me today. I don't like that.
Yeah, I turned his head a little bit to get him more involved in the show.
Well, so, he wants some camera time, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, our little friend, and not little Sami Zayn, but little Jimmy Cornette.
Oh, here we go. Okay, go ahead.
He's been coming up on these shows quite a bit. And apparently, once again, little Jimmy didn't take his meds, and he woke up on the wrong side of the bed, which I think is the only side that he ever gets up on. And as you know, he's now the star maker. He's stolen my name, which last week I gave to him, if you'll remember correctly.
Yes.
Hey, if it makes your day, you know, if it makes you feel like an important person, you can have my name. I don't care. Well, apparently he woke up on the wrong side of the bed. And you know a little bit about foreign culture, what some countries eat, what some countries don't. And I don't know if you read or heard about this on Twitter, but Jimmy got real upset. And Maya, I do want you to pitch in on this with me here in a little bit. I do want your opinion on this matter, but Jimmy got real upset that apparently he just recently found out that people in Korea's, both of them, one of the delicacies over there is dog. Now, nobody loves a dog more than the 2 people you see sitting here at the table along with Chris. Between me, Chris, and Maya, how many would you say we rescue at least probably 15 animals a year, if not more?
It's probably more, but it's about 15 dogs, if I had to say.
Yeah, but with dogs. And we do birds, cats, ferrets, whatever the heck we find. We get them homes and foster them until they get one. And we're known for that here in Louisville. So nobody loves a dog more than the 3 of us. But Jimmy apparently read that the South Koreans and the North Koreans have dogs as a delicacy, and that apparently 12 million people in South Korea and countless restaurants around the Olympics, dog is one of the advertised delicacies. Of course, there's countless other places that you can go to eat. But so Jimmy decided that he wants, and he used a lot of foul language in the process because someone sent me a screenshot of the tweet. I've got him blocked, so I can't see it. But Jimmy thought the answer to this, because they like to eat something that he doesn't like to eat, that the answer was to bomb North Korea and bomb South Korea and use some foul language in the process because some of the people over there eat dog. Nobody could disagree with that more than I do. As far as eating a dog, not me. I mean, I don't care what a dog tastes like. You're not knowingly going to slide a dog by me. And if you put a piece of meat in front of my face and don't tell me exactly what it is, I'm not even going to take a chance eating it. It might be zebra. It might be camel. I don't know what the hell it's going to be. I won't even eat alligator. And if I ain't going to eat an alligator, I sure as hell ain't going to eat a dog. So Jimmy wants to bomb these two places. And then I'm trying to put myself into the shoes of these people. And I always thought it was strange, especially when I was younger, being raised in the Risen family, who had very a family that if you don't see things exactly the way they do, they think you're weird and don't belong in this country. And as you know, that Muslims and people of India, especially, and help me out on this, Mai, you probably know more about this than I do. That cows are sacred.
No, not for Muslims. Muslims
not
don't
for
eat
Muslims,
pork.
But they don't eat pork.
No,
All
but
right.
it's the same idea. There's lots of people that disagree with the fact that we should be eating cow. Mainly people of the nation of India, because cows are holy to them, and we shouldn't be eating cow. We shouldn't, we should be vegan in that regard, in their opinion, and that's just something we need to respect when going to their country. Those are their culinary choices and their culture,
right.
And the same goes for the Koreas. But I do have something to ask before you go on.
Sure.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Jim Cornette is also that guy who refused to get a dog for like 20 years, even though his wife begged him. And now he got a gerbil with a little bit extra fur.
Well, he paid $850 for his gerbil, and then what people don't realize is that and this is a ballpark of what he told me, that he spent another $4,000 in vet fees. Now, like I said, we rescue dogs. We don't buy these pre-programmed, genetically not dogs. We rescue dogs. We found them on the street. Normally, we find them on the street.
Yeah, worst conditions.
Be it at a McDonald's or freezing under a truck or what have you. We find homeless dogs and get them homes. We don't go to stores and drop $1,000 because it's cool to have a certain dog, and then spend another $4,000 on it because it's got the sniffles. He also once spent, if he was telling me the truth, he spent close to $1,000 to save a gerbil. They had a pet like hamster or rat or gerbil or something when he lived in Knoxville. And I'm sorry, Vince, if I'm cold-hearted when I say this, but these things cost like $2.99 to $5.99.
Yeah, didn't he have like a pet rat or something, George or something? He was in love with. Yeah, that was a whole thing. Yeah,
and he told me back then how much money he spent to save this $2.99 rat. And I had pet rats for Chris. We had his name was Kink. Well, what Chris don't know is that there were like 10 kinks because they only live an average of about a year or two.
I don't think he knows that to this day.
He don't know it. Well, he does now. But Kink mysteriously kept regenerating and getting new life every time he got sick.
Kink is like the rat doctor.
So they were $2.99, Vince. I'm not going to drop $2,000 to save something that I can go. But they don't sit at the dinner table and converse with you. Yeah. They don't do tricks.
Well, you know what, Kenny? Here's the thing that like I'm thinking of when you tell me that. I mean, obviously, bro, I've got my late dog Yogi right behind my shoulder.
And Misty's in the kitchen, Mook out with us. Exactly.
Yeah. So, we feel the same way about dogs. But when you bring this up to me, I mean, here's the thing I'm thinking of. It's like, listen, how many dogs are put down, every single day because they can't find homes for them, and they just, they put the dogs down. I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming it's healthy to eat dog if that's what they're doing in North and South Korea.
They've been doing it a long time, so I'm assuming you're correct.
But I mean, if they have to put dogs down and healthy dogs down because there's just so many out there and there's no place to put them and no families that would adopt them, bro, if those dogs could feed poor children and underprivileged children and it'd be healthy, I wouldn't have an issue with that. Would you?
Well, not if it's feeding the hungry. I mean, I couldn't do it. I mean, I would starve to death before, and I'm sure you would too.
That would be the moral opportunity cost to this. But in the same way that we are seeing dog and cat as a luxury item in restaurants like that, because you could easily eat chicken or whatever. If you're paying for dog, you're paying for dog because you want it in that case. So it's a luxury item. I'm assuming that there's a lot of people that feel that way about us eating meat in the first place, like vegetarians and vegans. Right. And a lot of people probably feel the same way about us eating cow.
Well, I had a pet cow, Vince. I don't know if you know this or not, but I lived in Florida. I was about 6 years old. I had a pet cow named Elsa, and Elsa was tied to the mailbox in the front yard. We lived way out in the country. we had a road that we might see 3 cars on all day. And Elsa was tied up to the mailbox. And if Elsa wandered out in traffic and took a dump in the street, well, people dealt with it. And they would wait for Elsa to get done, and they'd drive around her or wait for her to move out of the road after they honked the horn. So I've had a pet cow. I remember my dad, the notorious Johnny Bolin, who he went to jail for stealing a cow. Not the one that was my pet, but he used to tell me that chocolate milk came from brown cows. So I always wanted a brown cow because my cow was white. I wanted some chocolate milk.
So, Mr. Bowler, when they say you're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, there may be a little truth to that.
Wait a minute. Who's they and how many people?
I hear things. Things.
Maya, have you been hearing these things too?
And Mr. Bolin, speaking
that
of
I don't have any sharp knives. When you said I didn't have any sharp knives, I thought that's what I got me knife for Christmas.
Speaking of hearing things.
Yes. Oh,
Mr.
God.
Bolin, to segue. What a segue that was.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot, with today's, landscape and the environment and, the way of the world today. And I swear I have this as the one of my top stories today. Okay, let me tell you what the top story is, and then I'm going to tie it into what's going on with me. Okay. You guys know who Shaun White is, right?
Of course. I was just watching the story on CNN as we speak, and I didn't get to finish the whole story.
Okay, let me tell you what the story is. Shaun White, great Olympian, always been a great Olympian. Everybody knows him, brother. I mean, he's toned down a little bit, but back in the day, he had that wild red hair and yeah, just, footloose and fancy free. Well, after winning his 3rd gold medal, these sexual harassment claims were brought up that happened, a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And here's the claims. There used to be a drummer. He used to have a band, and there used to be a drummer in his band. Her name was Lena Zawaideh. Would one of you like to try that? Zawaideh. Maya?
Take a shot, Maya.
Aideh.
Yeah, Zawaideh. I'm
not trying that.
Zadowich?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Lena Z.
With English.
Yeah. Well, we can't spend the whole show spelling this.
Lena Z, a former drummer in his band, supposedly he sent her explicit images and videos, grabbed her buttocks, referred to her as a biatch, and made controlling comments regarding her appearance, I guess when they did gigs or whatnot, who knows, in a 2016 lawsuit, which White paid and settled the lawsuit in May of 2016.
Yeah, I've never seen Lena. I don't know who this person is. I'm just hearing this today and did not get the whole story. So apparently Shaun paid some hush money as well.
Well, I know it wasn't really hush money. It was a settlement.
A settlement.
I mean, they settled where, she was a drummer in his band. She said he sent her explicit images and videos, grabbed her buttocks, referred to her as a bitch, and made controlling comments regarding her appearance. In 2016, they settled it, case closed until the guy wins 3 gold medals at the Olympics, and we got to dig this stuff
now. All of a sudden, it ain't closed anymore. We've been talking about this a lot, not only in the Bolin home. We've talked about it here on the shows recently, and it seems to be that a lot of celebrities are the ones that there's a problem with. And the reason being is because non-celebrities don't have money. It doesn't make the news. Who cares? The only way.
Mr. Bolin, would you consider yourself? Would you consider yourself a celebrity?
I don't know whether you label me B, C,
Mr. Bolin. It's a yes or no question.
Somewhat.
It's a yes or no question.
All right, yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bolin, because...
Where'd you get your law degree?
Because here's where I'm considering now. Now, there was money involved. There was a settlement. So this Lena Z made a little bit of cash.
Yeah, she did.
Now, part of the lawsuit was, Mr. Bolin...
You shut up and move on.
Explicit images and videos were sent to her.
Yeah.
Which brings me back to the very disturbing photo I received through my DM a week ago, Mr. Bolin, and you just declared yourself a celebrity. There may be some money to be had here, Mr. Bolin. Now, we're friends. Sometimes you got to put friendship to the side, Mr. Bolin, if there's a buck to be made.
Well, first of all, how disturbed were you by this video and photo
I
that
have
you basically
personally, I have not been the same.
that you
I saw the
basically
video.
asked for, which there are witnesses to?
I have
You
not been the
said,
same.
I got a
I have not
fantasy to
been the
see
same.
you being bathed in a sink, sir. That's what you asked for. I gave you better. I gave you me being bathed in a tub. I gave you what you requested. You can't sue me for that.
And also, Mr. Ball, I'm not done yet, Mr.
I
Ball.
didn't think you were.
Remember when we went out to that? What was the name of the restaurant where we all met together? Beautiful evening. Rock-a-Bar?
Oh God, here we go. I know where this is going.
I think there was a moment at the Rock-a-Bar when I got up to excuse myself to go to the bathroom,
So you said.
and I felt a hand brush over my buttocks.
Yeah.
And Mr. Bolin, you were sitting next to me. So
me.
now I've got two of these things here: explicit images and videos. There was a rub against the buttocks. So
Yeah.
now I got two of these.
Now you got
Now
that.
we get to this controlling comments, Mr. Bolin. Is it not true that the very first time I invited you on Bucket Full of Chicken Necks, you tried to change the name of the show?
I did. And a lot of fans agreed with me. Bitching with Bolin seemed to be a popular title for the show. I saw a lot of support for that on the internets, as George Bush says. The internets were all backing me on Bitching with Bolin. So where are you going with it? And number one, hang on, before you speak another word, I was at that dinner. I provided coverage for that dinner. How many nickels came out of your pocket that night, other than the tip the fine waitress?
Well, it was a hefty tip, Mr.
And you-
Bolin. I mean, let's be honest.
Oh, the tip. It wasn't that hefty.
Okay.
It actually was, guys. I'm messing with him. Vince is a generous tipper. Now, I recall when you got up, and I do recall a hand being draped across your ass and a groping of some type.
Yes.
Maya Doodle, who slid across in front of me, who has a fascination with you because you look like Negan. She's got a thing for Negan, and I think she fulfilled a fantasy that day, sir, to where she grabbed the ass of Negan for just a moment. I think
I must admit, Negan is a very good-looking guy. No comments on you, Vince. My boyfriend is upstairs. But I also must admit that your butt
How did it feel? How did it feel?
A lot like the cat boxes.
Oh,
and I believe that I was in my right of trying to touch my boyfriend's butt and accidentally.
Mr. Bolin,
your ass confused with the ass of the cat box.
It is very similar.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I will sue both your asses. I will take every piece of merchandise that take every piece of merchandise that you own, Mr. Bolin.
Let me explain something to you that you apparently don't know about. This woman is not only in law school, but worked in a law office for 3 years. She will sue you in 5 languages, just so you know.
Not only will I sue you, the moment I lose, you can have all my ramen noodles. You can't get anything out of me.
Get them all, even the shrimp flavored ones.
I just want you to know, Miss Bolin, giving you a fair warning. I'm building a case against you.
A case. And I think the case just fell apart right here.
Mr. Bolin, you want to hear something now based on this Shaun White thing? Here's something very interesting because you and I talked about this last week.
All of our shows so sexual.
I know, bro, because I swear to God, you want to know the truth, Maya. Here's the truth. I swear to God, this really tells you the world we're living in. Yeah. Because every single time I gather all of this right before our show, this is always all the headlines. Every week it's somebody else.
TMZ can't have a show without it, apparently.
Unbelievable. But listen to this, Kenny. We were talking about this last week, and this is interesting too. So I told you about Shaun White. They settled, but it's still getting brought up, which, I mean, come on, bro. The guy just won 3 gold medals. I mean, this, he sent her pictures. He grabbed her ass. I mean, come on. I mean, whatever. But anyway, now
I have been informed by the Prince and the Maya Doodle that this age group, that's what me and you would never think of. I know me, I don't think you would either. Me and you would never send a nude photo, and I have reasons at my age why I wouldn't. You and I, even at our youngest and hottest of days, would we have ever considered sending a nude photo of ourselves out to anyone, even handing one to somebody?
No, but you guys thought it was appropriate to say to a girl, "I'm gonna turn you upside down and lick you like a popsicle."
That was my brother. I never said
generation.
That. My brother said that. It wasn't me.
You sent me a nude photo a week ago.
Yes,
I mean, are you that stunad?
That you asked for. in public.
Mr. Ball, let me get back to the matter.
Jeff Lane, rock the video and play where Vince wanted the nude picture of me, please.
Now, Mr. Ball, we spoke about this. Listen to this now. Piers Morgan. We all know Piers Morgan, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Oh, I know.
Now he came out with some what is it? Is it incriminating evidence? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Now listen to this. Piers Morgan, everybody knows, was on the Celebrity Apprentice with Omarosa.
He was.
Omarosa is now on a Celebrity Big Brother, causing all kinds of trouble. Okay?
Omarosa. Yep.
Now, Piers Morgan is telling a story that when he was on Celebrity Apprentice with Omarosa, she approached him about having a showmance with him. And Piers Morgan was like, what the hell is a showman? Like, he didn't even know what that term was. And she said, a showmance is kind of like we have a romance on the show. We play it up and we'll both be able to benefit off of it financially. So, Piers Morgan told her, you're out of your mind. I'm not interested in having a showmance or any kind of romance with you whatsoever. No, not interested. Okay. Now, she turned around and called them the begin with the F word and end in a T word, which you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, now, and that's what she called him. And she started throwing homophobic slurs at him because he did not want to have a showmance with her. Now, if the roles were reversed here,
oh my!
I gotta tell you, bro, I would bet my bottom dollar that Omarosa would be suing the pants off of Piers Morgan. But it's what you said last week, Mr. Bolin. Does Piers Morgan not file a lawsuit because it is a guy-woman type of thing?
No, he gets
nowhere. I will
nowhere.
tell you exactly what it is. You're absolutely right. If the roles were reversed, we'd be hearing about it 24/7. Frankly, I'm not surprised that, as we call her, Homerosa, did any of that. She's a terrible person. I don't even want to call her a person. But I will tell you exactly why they do that, because from the day they're born,
all races feel that way. No race likes her.
No race. There's no group of people. She's the reverse Michael Jackson. Nobody wants to claim her. The exact reason he doesn't want to file a lawsuit, this isn't on the news, is because from the day they're born, boys are always raised to be harder and tougher, not to complain, not to cry. And girls get away with it. We're allowed to cry. We're allowed to, we're taught that we can't fight each other and that kind of stuff because it's all class. But boys, they can go around and fight each other. They have other rules. And as much as that's not fair to girls, it's not fair to boys. The whole rule about if you're hurt as a girl, you get to cry, but if you're hurt as a boy, you just have to suck it up.
Suck it up and move on.
That is just psychologically damaging, and it's counterproductive.
Maya, I'm glad I have you on this show because you are very, very fair. Because I want to tell you something, and I didn't even have this on my notes. I probably would not have brought this up with Mr. Bolin, but you're there. So I want to bring this up, okay? Maya, I want to see how you feel about this because I just realized this when I watched WWE programming this last weekend. Okay. Now, Maya, I'm just going to say it. We're getting shoved down our throats in the professional wrestling business, mostly thanks to Stephanie McMahon, who's got to be this. Stephanie McMahon should be the pioneer woman because, she's so righteous and puts herself out there in front when it's anything she could get accolades off of. That's what Stephanie does. So we've had this woman's what has it been called? Woman's
movement?
Not woman's movement, whatever it's called, the woman's in professional wrestling.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I can't remember
the woman's revolution.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, now Maya, we've had this woman's revolution in wrestling where we're being told, okay, we've taken all the sexuality out of women and female wrestling. We've taken that out. We're being told that women can work like the men, and a woman's match should be no different than a man's match. We should view them as the same. It's the woman's movement. It's the woman's revolution. And every time I see a females wrestling, I should look at that the same way I look at the guys. Strip out all the sexuality. Don't look at them any way, shape, or form in that in that nature, they are wrestlers just like the guys. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to take anything away from the women. First of all, I think that's absurd because I hate to break the news to Stephanie and everybody else in this world. Men and women are built very, very, very differently. Women weigh a lot less than men. And obviously, look at the guys in the WWE and the women in the WWE. So the fact of the matter is, if the women do the same thing the men do, there is a much greater chance of a woman getting hurt, and the odds increase before a man simply because of their body size and the punishment that their bodies could take. So if you want to,
I would agree.
Yeah. Well, if you want to put them, well, come on, everything is shooting with them nowadays. They don't work anything. They got to get the "This is awesome" chant.
Well, I mean, it's the choreography. They choreograph every movement. I see what you're saying. It's still athletic,
WWE,
but you can choreograph it not to get hurt.
Yeah, of course you can, but they don't. They don't. I mean, as we could see by Paige's career over at the age of 23.
I am known for hating the "This is awesome" chant, and now WWE, I saw a commercial on Raw or SmackDown a night or two ago to where they're promoting their products using the "This is awesome" chant to promote their sale.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Mike, just the fact that you're going to tell me, okay, it's an even playing field, it's just ludicrous. I mean, men are men and women are women, and I'm not going to get into that whole thing. Here's my point, Maya. So it's the women's revolution. We can't look at them, no sexiness. God forbid we say so-and-so is hot. I mean, God forbid you even use the word hot nowadays. So Maya, I'm sitting there the other day and I'm watching a backstage interview with Mickie James, who I love, and everybody knows how I feel about Mickie. This isn't a slight on Mickie, but it's Mickie James and Alexa Bliss.
I saw that.
And Maya, I'm looking at these two, and here's the thing that's dawning on me. Both of their fake eyelashes are almost as long as their wrestling matches. So I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. We want this equality. We don't want to look at them in a sexual or attractive manner. We want to just look at them as wrestlers. They're wrestlers. They're just like the guy. Okay, if that's the case, then why are they wearing 6-foot eyelashes? Why are they putting hair extensions in? Why are they getting their makeup done to the T? Why are they dressing themselves up in a glamour style? Guys don't do that.
30%.
Men don't even comb their freaking hair.
30% of the Diva show is them sitting in front of a makeup mirror at Raw.
Now, Maya, I want to hear your take on this because you're telling me one thing, but you're putting something completely different out there.
That's completely right. You can only ask your customer to do exactly what you tell them to do if you give them the product you promise them. If you're putting eyelashes and extensions in their hair and they're wearing makeup and you say, no, don't look at them as pretty, but you're presenting them as extra pretty, you cannot fault the customer for saying that they're pretty. On the other hand, somebody like Kevin Owens can walk out and be respected for his match.
And Sammy.
I'm sorry, but I totally agree with you. To me, it's bull. It's complete bull. If you're going to
tell you, I think it might be. You just brought up something very interesting because I think both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn would be a little bit more interesting if they came out in fake eyelashes.
Yeah, certainly couldn't hurt them.
I'd agree with that.
Wait, Mike, do you see why I get pissed off? Don't freaking tell me like I'm an idiot. You're telling me one thing. You're telling me to look at them one way, and look at the way they're parading themselves out there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think, and don't quote me on this, it's Charlotte who goes in the ring splitting her legs and like rubbing her genital area on the ring and that kind of stuff. I'm sorry.
This is a family show. Easy with the genital area, Maya. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, go ahead.
You can only report what you see.
This is not fake news, okay? I just had to tell you what I saw. But what I'm saying is, how many guys do you see out there, and again, pardon my French, grinding their genital area on other people and that kind of stuff? Men in the wrestling business, and forgive me, are not sexy because they're not portrayed as sexy. There's very few of them. They are manly, but they're not sexy. They're not. And if you really want to know, ask a gay man if that's what he considers stripping, because a lot of the women are pretty close to what I would consider stripping, such as Charlotte, for example. If that's what they want to do, then the customer's review will be sexual, like will be pretty sexualized. And that's what you are asking for if you do that. If that's what you want, that's what you want. That's what you get.
Why don't they go out there if they want to be equal to men? Real simple. Okay, no problem. Go out there. No hair extensions, no makeup, no fake eyelashes, no tight fitting clothing, no cleavage. If you're going to do this, then do it. Don't tell me you're doing it and then you're portraying something completely different.
But here's another reason. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kenny.
Help me out here, Vince. The only ones that I know that are going out there not based upon her looks, and Nia Jax due to her size and just physical ability, and the one that looks like Jeff Lane.
I would disagree on both counts, Kenny, because both of them probably wear more makeup than anybody else.
Okay, all right, you got me
and
there.
And they wear the tight clothes and that
there.
kind of stuff. None of them walk out. And here's actually an example. A lot of people want to say, well, men can't be sexual and kind of stuff. I want to, and I can't believe I'm friggin' doing this. I'm actually mentioning a wrestler and I'm putting him over. Magnum Tokyo from Japan.
My God, I wasn't looking for you to drop that name today.
Chris's favorite wrestler is incredibly sexual. Like, he walks in, he's a stripper, he plays a gay character, he's in pink. And if I were attracted to a flamboyant man, which is not my type, my God, I'd go crazy. If that was my type, if I saw a woman doing that, I'd like it too. That's all I'm saying. So if they're saying, oh, this is just a woman's work, that's just how women should be. No, men can be like that too. It's just a choice. That's what he asked for.
Yeah. And Maya, by the way, Stephanie, I am woman, hear me roar. Okay. Miss breast implants. I've never seen a guy get breast implants. What are the breast implants for, Stephanie? Explain to me what they're for.
Well, I mean, I suppose, if you want to feel a certain way, you should go after it and do it. And in as much as women enhance their bodies, I am the first one to say that men should too, because men will mope around and they will just never get a haircut, not take care of their hygiene, just say, oh, I can't get a girlfriend and all that stuff. Well, I'm sorry, but there is one gender that takes care of itself because we're raised to, and the other gender gets away with everything. You see so many pretty girls with just the crappiest boyfriends, and it might be a personality thing.
It's called settling.
But it's called settling. But what kind of person doesn't want to take care of themselves? What kind of person doesn't care what they look like? Generally, it's men because they get away with it. Generally, it's not always that way, but I see it much more with men. If women want to put on makeup, that's their choice. I've never seen a man go after what he wants to look like, and he should. Every man should. If you want to look a certain way, get a haircut, do this, do that. But on the other hand, men get a haircut, and if it's not the traditional haircut, if, for example, they get a ponytail or a man bun or whatever, other men start attacking them like crazy, the way women attack other women for getting breast implants.
Not a man bun.
Who gives a peep? I'm sorry, but who gives a darn? I think that's what you say.
I love the self-editing today, but go ahead.
Oh God, it's very difficult. I'm sorry,
it's
Vince.
very hard. The bowling alley doesn't do the editing.
Who gives a darn what somebody looks like as long as they're happy? And the first ones I see to attack another person are men, because men just cannot accept when another man feels attractive or wants to do something new. Like, I know so many men who attack other men for earrings or piercings or tattoos.
Not a fan.
And I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what somebody looks like as long as they are a good person. If they are happy and they're a good person, I don't care what they look like.
Have
and
you
hygiene,
ever heard me
hygiene.
criticize Vince? Vince is highly decorated in the art of body ink. Have you ever heard me criticize Vince?
No, it's called fear.
Because he'll fire me.
All right, Mr. Ball, let's move on.
Let's do that.
Okay, now this, to me, this is ridiculous. Now, Mr. Bolin, I'm not a political guy, and I'm not leading you down any lane. I'm going to shut you down you start with me. I'm not a political guy. As a matter of fact, maybe about eight months ago, maybe about a year ago, I really started watching for myself rather than hear everything. I started watching CNN.
Right.
And then I started watching Fox News,
and
I saw the agenda, and I'm like, okay, like stop. I'm not a sheep at home where freaking either side is going to sway me either way.
That's totally heels and faces.
Yes. Okay.
On one side and the other side.
Now, I don't think heels and faces.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Bolin, you got to admit this is a bit freaking much.
All right.
Okay. Now I'm just looking at what side I know you're on. I could be totally wrong. Because sometimes I get the sides mixed up.
You're probably right.
Are you Sean Hannity guy. No. You wouldn't be a Sean
Oh
Hannity.
no.
You're not a Sean Hannity guy.
Not a Hannity guy. No.
Now, Maya, Sean Hannity. Here's Sean Hannity. I'm a journalist, and blah blah blah. Whatever. Okay.
Remember,
None of them are journalists.
Maya's new to all of this. She's only been here 3.5 years.
Okay.
Not a single one of them is a journalist. The first thing you learn in journalism is objectivity.
Yeah.
If you go on the news and you say it's a beautiful day, that's not objective. You're not a journalist.
Right. Okay. This is where I'm like, guys, isn't this a little freaking much? Okay. President Obama. Okay, but former president, but Obama gets
they keep the title.
Yeah, gets a portrait taken of himself.
I saw it.
A beautiful portrait. It's like, greenery in the background, these green leaves, and Obama is sitting in front of the backdrop. Really, it catches your eye. I mean, the photo definitely pops. Right. I thought it was really nice, really artistic, really different for a president. I mean, with the president all the time, we see the flag in the back, the office, and the whole nine yards. This was a cool looking photo.
And I assume you saw the one of Michelle Obama as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So from Hannity's Twitter account, somebody freaking tweets out that the greenery in the background is full of sexual innuendo. And if you look really, really, really hard at the photo, you could see secret sperm. And I'm like, are you out of your freaking mind?
Hannity retweeted this, or
no. This came straight off Hannity's Twitter. This came off of, like, I'm saying to myself, how could you even think for a second?
I saw the picture.
So of course, but now you want to go from bad to worse.
Let's hear it.
So this comes out on Sean Hannity's Twitter account.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I somehow missed this. I didn't see or hear this.
Gets taken down immediately because of the backlash, just like this.
I'm sure.
And Sean Hannity has the balls to say, "Oh, I knew nothing about that tweet being put up. I didn't approve it."
Oh,
are you out of your freaking mind, bro?
Anymore, man, I was hacked. I didn't do it. I didn't approve it. Trump has done the same thing.
He may not have approved it, but he hired the guy or the woman that tweeted it.
Yeah.
I mean, you hired somebody with that mentality.
We were talking about fame a little while ago. Even Kenny Bolin, because Maya's gotten me a few times. Maya will feel a certain way. She says, well, they might not pay attention if I tweet it, but they'll pay attention if Kenny Bolin said it. And she's gone out there and tweeted me.
His highest the tweets with the highest retweets and likes are definitely my words.
Shit.
Now, Mr. Bolin, hold on before you're sitting there. You're calling the kettle black once again, Mr. Bolin. What the hell?
Is this an ambush or am I a co-host?
What the hell? Hold the phone, everybody. And I hope everybody's watching this on the Realm Network for less than $1 a week. Russo'sBrand.com. Hold the phone, Mr. Bolin.
Yeah, Mr.
What the hell is that? Positioned ever so strategically. Right in front of the Maya doodle. What the hell?
Right in front of her?
That long white object.
The pill
that she's playing with now, stroking.
Bowling club pill.
What the hell, Mr. Bolin?
Have you seen the size and the circumference of this thing?
I might put that down, please. But I don't need pause in letters. Don't be rubbing on that thing, please. Maya, stop it.
Grab the black one.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Hey, Maya, don't. I'm gonna have to go back now and mosaic this whole freaking video. Don't be stroking that long black.
Are you Shaun Hannity and me? Are you seeing something?
What the hell? You see that, Kenny? That's how you are, bro. You say something, and then you got white and black weenies all over your desk.
You Shaun Hannity me, man. You're seeing something. What do you see when you see this? What do you see?
That's the secret sperm.
I see secret sperm crawling all over that damn thing. Go wash it. Miss Bolin, you want to excuse yourself and go wash your hands at this point? Kind of a show you think I'm running here, Mr. Bolin?
Yeah, not that kind of show.
Mr. Bolin, can I ask you another question?
Is there any sperm on that one?
A little bit. I see a little bit, Mr.
Get
Bolin.
rid of that one too. All right.
Special marshmallow sauce. Okay, Mr. Bolin, hold on a minute.
Yeah, I
Mr.
scraped
Bolin,
my ass.
can I ask you another question, Mr. Bolin? Let's go off here. Me and you are old school. Maya Doodle may look at this a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm reading this headline today, Mr. Bolin. Okay. Cardi B, that's CARDIB,
Okay.
is pregnant. Okay, so I'm reading this headline, and here's my first.
I'll be with that as soon as I know who Cardi B is.
Here's my first question, Mr. B. Mr. Bolin. First of all, who the hell is Cardi B? First of all, that I care that she's pregnant or not pregnant. Who the hell is Cardi B?
Maya's all over the Twitter and the current events, and she drops shit on me all the time.
Never heard this person.
No. Yeah,
Mr. Bolin, I want to. Here, this is leading me into something
Maya
else.
would be bigger news if she were pregnant. At least somebody knows who she
Don't even
is.
joke about
Now,
that.
Mr. Bolin, Cardi, CARDIB, Cardi B. That's her name. Mr. Bolin, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Whatever happened with especially musicians, okay? Especially, people in the rap category. Mr. Bolin, whatever happened with people having normal freaking names? like did Frank Sinatra call himself Frankie S?
Frankie S. No.
Or Sammy Davis Jr. SDJ?
Yeah, there you go.
Mr. Bolin, what is that? Like, why can't they perform under their freaking names?
Was the famous wrestler SD Jones, was he really Sammy Davis Jones?
Why can't we just have a name, Mr.
Who else mentioned SD Jones today on a podcast other than us?
Cardi B. But Mr. Bolin.
But no one else mentioned Cardi B on a podcast today either, I'm pretty sure.
Well, listen to this, Mr. Bolin. You want to listen.
I'm listening.
This is worse than Cardi B.
I got the Monster Inn tunes on today. I'm hearing every word you say.
Yeah. Mr. Bolin, then I'm finding there is a Russian-German DJ. The guy is a DJ.
You know Maya's German, right?
Okay, yeah. Well, you may know him because I never heard of the guy before. Russian-German DJ. The guy's name is Zedd. Z-E-D-D.
Yeah, I do know.
Maya knows him.
Maya, Mr. Bolin, this freaking Russian DJ, Zedd, a DJ, Mr. Bolin, just bought a $16 million house in Beverly Hills. How the hell is a DJ? I don't care if you're from Russia, German. I don't care if you're eating dogs. I don't care if you're black, white, Hispanic, pink, orange.
Yeah.
How the hell is a DJ buying a $16 million home?
One DJ should be buying a $16 million home in, where'd you say, LA?
Yeah, Beverly Hills.
DJ Jazzy Jeff. He's the only one qualified to buy a $16 million home in California.
Mr. Bolin, we missed the boat somewhere along the line that a DJ by the name of Zedd is buying a $16 million home, and we're sitting here like two schleps.
I'm sorry, but on the name thing, I have to disagree with you guys.
Right,
Although the name is very weird. You guys had Opie, Gomer Pyle, Ernest D. Bass. What kind of names are those?
They all had last names at least. Gomer Pyle.
Gomer Pyle. Andy Griffith.
Yeah, I guess.
They all had last names.
Opie Taylor. Why was he Opie Taylor?
Because Andy Griffith's name on the show was Andy Taylor.
Oh, I didn't know that. Been watching it for years.
Corporal,
right?
Yeah.
Corporal Agon. Sergeant O'Rourke.
Larry Stork, one of the greatest. I love Larry Stork. No one in the world today has mentioned Larry Stork or
Larry Storch. Hey, Ken Berry.
Forrest Tucker.
Forrest Tucker.
You know what Forrest Tucker was known for?
What was he known for?
Hand me that pillow over there, Maya.
Which one? The one I like?
The white
one.
Maya, please, put gloves on.
Forrest Tucker. A lot of people saying it.
Having a big schlong. He had a big schlong.
They say the biggest in Hollywood
I thought that award went to Milton Berle. I thought Uncle Milty had the
Well, Milty shriveled up with age.
Wow, I didn't know that about Forrest Tucker.
Yeah, Forrest Tucker. You know who told me that?
Who?
Jimmy Cornette?
Larry Storch.
Yeah, Jimmy. No.
How would Jimmy Cornette know that Forrest Tucker has a huge?
Makes you wonder, don't it? Makes you wonder.
Do you think Forrest Tucker has ever been brought up on any podcast in the history of mankind?
You do know that him and Larry Storch did a comedy show on Saturday morning TV called Ghostbusters. Did you ever see that?
I did not. Tell me about that.
Ghostbusters. You have to look that up. Larry Storch and they basically were just the same thing they did on F Troop. But no one has talked about that. But this show covers the obscure shows from time to time, back when people had names and shows were good.
Mr. Bolin,
stuff is more international, and they can't use their real names because you can't pronounce them. Like if I were to become famous, I wouldn't use my real name.
No,
I would never get famous with my real name.
Would you, could you tell us what your last name is?
I have 3 last names. You want to hear it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
My full name is Mayara Vieira Sponholz Duarte.
Oh my
God! Remember that?
Put that on the back of a baseball jersey, Mr. Bolin.
You got one said to you. Take it away.
Unbelievable. Okay, listen, one last story. I'm going to wrap this up.
Hey, before you wrap it up, as much as you and I love baseball, what about Esteban Loaiza? Did you hear about him?
No. What?
He was the famous pitcher for the Dodgers. In 14 years, he made like $45 million. And what was in Cy Young competition. The last year he pitched, he finished like second. Esteban Loaiza was pulled over and arrested yesterday. They ran a search on his home. He got caught with 45 pounds of heroin and cocaine in his house. He's gone. They said they don't know if he's ever getting out again. Man made $45 million in 14 years and still has to do drug trafficking.
Unbelievable. Well, listen, if Esteban thinks he's got a problem, how about this poor
Not Gloria Esteban Loaiza.
How about this poor sap?
All right. Okay. We never did hear him try to say Maya's name.
Don't
say it again, Maya. Maya who?
Mayara Vieira Sponholz Duarte.
Okay, we're not doing that. Okay.
That's the letter man would go nuts with the Dodgers trying to get that on the back of a jersey.
I hate to even bring this up, but I have to bring this up because you talk about being in a pickle, Mr. Bolin.
Well, I hope it ain't me for a change.
This poor sap is in a pickle, Mr. Bolin.
It could be me.
And I hate to bring this up because Mr. Bolin's going to jump down that freaking rabbit hole. I'm going to have to rip him out by the ears. Mr. Bolin,
Maya's Peter Cottontail, by the way. So.
I got my elbow ready, Vince.
Imagine being in this guy's dilemma, in this guy's pickle.
All right.
Trump's longtime lawyer, Michael Cohen.
We know him well.
Okay, is claiming that he paid Stormy Daniels.
Your favorite name. I sent you the songs.
Yes, you did. Thank you, Mr. Bolin. He paid.
Great song, huh?
Yes. Okay. He paid Stormy Daniels $130K, which is apparently hush money.
Hush money.
Out of his own out of
election day.
Yeah, out of his own pocket.
Out of his own pocket.
Now, how does this poor slob get that money back?
Out of loyalty to Mr. Trump. I'll tell you what CNN said today. There's going to be some miracle $130,000 bonus because he is the personal lawyer of Donald Trump. And he got famous before we even. Maya, do you remember how we discovered this guy?
Says who?
Well, they were laying all these facts on him. His answer would be.
Well, actually, yeah, they were on CNN, and it was a woman, not Brooke Baldwin, but another one. Yeah. I don't remember her. She was telling him that Trump was very, very low in the ratings and the polls, and he said, "Which polls?
What polls?
What polls?" And she said, "Well, all the polls." He says who? And his only response was, "Says who? Says who? Says who?" But here's the thing: she got in trouble because she could not tell him which sources they were using, which as a news agency, she should have. Yeah, the guy was an a-hole, but she did not do her job.
So he said, "What polls?" And she looks at him. She goes, "Literally all of them." But that's how he got paid, because he just would not answer her questions other than with fifth grade rhetoric.
He started selling shirts that said "says who" on the back.
Yeah, so now he's selling shirts by being made a fool out of by a CNN news reporter. He cashed it in, made some money off from it. But now they're saying that he's going to get a mystery $130,000 bonus, because if he says he paid it out of his pocket, then that technically is not a campaign contribution. But what he said is that he did not get reimbursed by the Trump.org or the Trump campaign. He would not answer the fact whether Trump pulled $130K out of his back poke and handed it to him. He refused to answer that question. So let's put it this way. As CNN said today, do you know of any attorney that is so loyal to their client that to protect them, they would fork over 130 grand? Now, I don't know how big of 130 grand is to you, Vince, but it's big money to me. And I have no loyalty to anybody, including the kid asleep upstairs that I'm forking over 130 grand to keep his ass from winning the presidency. I did fork over 5 grand once to keep Chris out of jail. But
I would just, I
did worse things in Memphis for you, all right?
I would love to be privy to the conversations of how we're going to get this guy his money back, and nobody's going to find out about it.
$130,000 bonus. It's so easy. It's so easy. He's a hired campaign attorney, so you just slide him 130 grand.
Do you think to mask it, the bonus will be 130 grand and 1 cent?
No, it's going to be higher than 130 grand. I mean, he just took the bullet today, or so he thinks. Now, Congress is saying he's just sealed the death certificate of Donald Trump's presidency by admitting this, because they say that federal judges are going to say, well, you can say what you want. We know what you did. And this was a campaign contribution. You paid her the day before the election, and eventually common sense has to enter into this. And some judges actually use common sense.
And speaking of common sense, how about this? If you're Stormy Daniels,
your favorite,
you're only going to get 130 grand from Donald Trump. Like, where did she learn negotiating techniques?
Not from me. Not from me. Donald Trump.
130 grand. He pays lunch with that.
Cheated on his wife while she was pregnant. It's the day before election day, and she'd already given
130 grand.
Yeah, she'd already given the story. She'd already given names, places, dates, and everything's done. And all she's got to do is go, well, $5 million, and it goes away. What's $5 million to Donald Trump to hear him?
130 grand.
30 grand's chump change. He had a dinner down in Mar-a-Lago where they were charging 250 grand a plate. Campaign contributions. You pay 250 grand, you get to eat with me. Well, he didn't get to go because the government got shut down. So he got to get a picture with Donnie Jr. and people wanted their damn money back.
I mean, Mr. Bolin, if I'm Stormy, I'm asking for Zed money at least, no?
Yeah, well, absolutely. No, I'm not settling for anything less, because I want $2 million, because $1 million's going for taxes anyway, unless you get it in a briefcase. So I want $2 million so I can spend $1 million of it.
Unbelievable.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I
didn't let Maya try. How much hush money do you need, Maya?
Not enough.
You had some little games you played under covers with Donald Trump while he was
5 tons of ramen noodles, and I'm good.
5 tons of ramen noodles. That's a lot of
$20.
Noodles.
No, actually, what I wanted to say is that you were just talking about heels and baby faces with CNN and Fox News. And I wanted to add to that, I personally am a CNN person, needless to say. I'm not white. And I wanted to say that I was watching Don Lemon just a few minutes ago.
Oh, my God.
And although I really love Don Lemon, and I don't see how he survives every day. He looks like the most depressed person on earth.
Did he used to manage the Kansas City Royals, Mr. Bolin? That's Bob Lemon. I'm sorry.
That was Bob Lemon.
Okay, go ahead.
Don Lemon.
Go ahead.
Change in his life, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Ahead,
Don Lemon started the show and he was talking about Stormy Daniels, and he called her a porn star, and he said, well, let's not glamorize it.
Yeah.
She is a woman who has sex on camera for money. And I thought that was just too much. It's called a porn star. It's not glamorous. Nobody goes out there, wow, she's a porn star.
Yeah.
It's a job. She chose that job. I don't think we need to shame her. If you don't like porn stars, don't freaking watch porn. That's just the bottom line. If you don't want to support the business, there's no point in going on the news and shaming her for what she did. That's her job. Get over it.
As I've told Maya last night when we saw this, it wasn't so much Don Lemon was trying to cast shame on her as he was trying to cast shame on Trump that, hey, you paid $130,000 for a blowjob. Yeah, if you can say that on this.
Mr. Bolin, I'm a little bit more concerned that now not only does the beautiful Maya have the white pill within vicinity of her left arm, but now Mr. Bolin, she's managed to bring porn into the conversation. So I can only believe this was discussed before the two of you came on the show. I would only believe you told Maya we need ratings, we need innuendo, and job very well done, Mr.
I don't think I can do any more on my end.
Actually, you pointed out right now, today's Ash Wednesday. I have ashes on my forehead. I could not feel any more guilty. God, I totally forgot.
All I know is that when people are looking at my camera shot, they're getting an eye full of the doodle. And when you get your camera shot, they see the lip maker, Sami Zayn, sitting there on your microphone.
There you go. The best of both worlds, Mr. Bolin.
Gotta have something for everybody.
Mr. Bolin, hit us with it all. I know you got new items this week, Mr. Bolin. What do you got for us? Give me everything.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about new. Look at what Maya's done on my display model over here. Is that on camera?
Very nice. Yeah, very nice. Yes.
Red, white, blue, and red, and of course the black. We got the black here. In tunes, Maya's wearing the lavender, the hard to find lavender that go for a minimum of $149 on the internet, maybe $249 depending where you shop. I've got orange, I've got green. I am loaded. And yellow. Hell, we forgot the yellow. Let's show this one here. The LA Laker version.
Nice.
Switch it around. We got the LSU Fighting Tigers there. Hand me wait a minute. Hand me one of the red sets there with the hockey and the Louisville. That one here is clean. There's no logos on that one.
We got one right here.
There you go.
Be careful, it's tied to something.
There you go. This is a hell of a thing we got going on. The Louisville Cardinal version of the Monster In Tunes. Flip it around. I got a Canadian wanting to buy those.
Oh, very nice.
So these are display models here, of course, that we use on the show.
There's one more thing we need to plug before we forget it. Oh, go ahead and do your headphones.
Bolin Club on one side of the Monster In Tunes. We just sold a set of these in Australia yesterday. They got shipped to Australia. He wanted Bolin Club on one side, BS on the other.
Very nice.
So his idea, I said, that's a great idea. So I did the same thing. And of course, we got the Bolin Club mics. They've been selling like hotcakes because people like how we sound on the show. And if you, Mr. Russo, will pay attention to my inbox messages other than the nude photos that I send you and will give me your damn address, I'm going to send you some things that are going to help you show out a little bit.
Bro, the last guy who got my address wanted to come to my house and kill me, and you want me to give you my address, Mr. Bolin.
Jim Cornette's former best friend.
Yeah, exact. Thank you, Maya. Thank you. Point out the obvious to Mr. Bolin, will you, please?
If I was going to,
Mr. Bolin would sell me down the river like God knows what if the price was right.
All I know, if I was going to kill you, I'd have done it in front of your daddy at the Rock-A-Bar Pizza a few months ago. When I had him on my lap.
After Maya grabbed my ass.
When your daddy gave me a lap dance. Now
that's true. Okay, Mr. Bill, let's keep my father out of this. Let's keep the elderly out of this.
And I got a picture, by the way, that I can post today. You posted my picture. Don't think I won't.
All right, Mr. Bill, you're making Maya forget the very important plug. Go, Maya. Don't forget what?
Very important plug. Kenny is doing a special. He's going to do a bowling alley.
Stole your idea.
With, I believe, 8 guests.
8 guests.
Oh, good for you, Mr. Ball. Very nice.
How much do they have to pay to be on the show?
Here's the deal, because this is where no one's listening to this show. Let's face it. Cornet pointed that.
Please.
Cornet's pointed that. We got no listeners here. But just in case you accidentally tune into this show, we're going to have 8 guest on the bowling alley. We're stealing Vince's idea that he gave me and encouraged me to use. Not a selfish man. I'm doing it, but I'm undercutting him. I'm doing mine because I'm not the celebrity Vince Russo is. No, don't try to be. So I'm doing mine for $49.95, room for 8 guests. Listen to this, Vince. You get a free book. You get a free signed autographed copy of my book, or you can upgrade to a Bowling Club t-shirt for only $10 more. Listen to this. When I announced this on Bowling Alley Live last night, I had a fan, my hand to the good Lord above, wanted to drive here, pay me $100 and sit next to me on the
drive here from Indianapolis.
And I didn't let him, but he wanted to drive here from Indianapolis and sit next to me and do the alley because he's got a bad internet connection. And I said, well, you need to find a friend with a good internet connection. I'm not letting
Mr. Bolin, let me smarten you up on something.
Smart me up.
Because I'm telling you, this bit me in the ass that you grabbed many a time. Okay?
Maya grabbed
Let me tell you something. This is a great offer for anybody listening. My God, you get to do the show, Mr. Bolin. Only 8 people. It's very exclusive. An autographed copy of the book, which is a beautiful thing. But Mr. Bolin, you got to be a little careful because if it's somebody outside of the United States, that book's going to cost you an arm and a leg to ship.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there you go. Very good. Your point. And believe me, I would have smartened them up and not took their money.
Okay.
Anytime I get somebody says, Kenny, how much to get this? Oh, here's my address, and it's a bunch of crap I can't read. You ought to see the address Maya shipped to Brazil What was that address?
It was the longest address in history. It's my father's address. The street name has street at the very top, and then 4 other names because Latinos cannot give up any of their last names. You heard my name, imagine that as a street name.
Yeah.
And
mail-in overseas is a freaking joke. It's ridiculous. It's a joke.
Tell Vince how much overseas stuff, start to say shit, how much overseas stuff we sell and what we charge to ship it. I mean, I give them the option, and but I don't send anything that I don't charge at least $35. There's people, Vince, that have paid almost $100 to get my book and his shirt.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, if you want to ship it to Australia, it's easily going to be $35 to $40 for shipping.
How many packages do you think we've sent to Australia just in the past 30 days?
Easily, I'd say 12.
Yeah, to Australia, and they pay the shipping.
I always feel so freaking bad and guilty when I got to tell them about the shipping.
Look. Here's what I do. Let me give you some advice on air. You got DVDs you sell, right?
I try not to sell anything because I always, and this is part of the reason why.
Yeah, the shipping overseas.
Yeah.
What I do is to make up the shipping charges, because I have about 6 different DVDs that I sell over 30 years in the business, and I will offer them a couple of free DVDs worth $30 to $40 that I sell here in compensation for the shipping. You know, I feel bad that I got to charge you $35, $40 to ship this to you, but here's 2 free DVDs, and they're normally cool with that. If they're getting $40 in free merch, and if you had DVDs to say, because let's face it, I can make DVDs for $1.50 all day. That's one of the few things I make a great profit on, and I'll admit it, I make a good profit, but you know.
Now, Mr. Bolin, if they already have the book,
yes,
okay, could they in place of the book, if they already have the book, could they get a picture of that bathtub shot autographed
for a $10 upgrade, autographed by me and the Maya Doodle, and we will even circle where you spotted.
I saw something.
Turtlehead.
I saw something coming out of that water, Mr. Bolin.
It wasn't the Loch Ness monster at that age, I'll tell you that.
That's true. Mr. Bolin, what about the show on the brand? What about that?
We record as a matter of fact, this show that we're looking to do, we're going to record that new coming up this coming Monday. Will air probably Wednesday or Thursday, pending if Jeff Lane is uploading videos of him playing video games or not, instead of the heavily popular Bolin show and of course the Chicken Neck show.
So wait a minute. See, now you didn't, now the great salesman you are, you didn't even sell this. So if they become a part of this and they're one of the lucky 8 and they get the book autographed and it's $49.99, we're also going to put this show up.
Oh yeah.
Well, see, you didn't say that, bro.
Because you didn't let me. You cut me off to talk about my turtle head.
Oh God,
what the Sam hell have you done, Maya?
It's the universe telling us this show is too long.
You just can't get good help these days, Vince. I'm telling you. But we'll be uploaded, seen worldwide. You will be a worldwide celebrity on that particular show, and we're going to go 90 minutes with that one. Jeff Lane doesn't have to knock himself out doing editing or anything. If he just wants to put an opening and a closing on it, we'll be good. We'll make it a nice, simple, easy show for him to do. Now, here's where I need your guidance at. Should that show be a bonus Bowling Alley or one of the 2 that I do a month on your network?
I would make it a bonus Bowling Alley if it were me. That's what I would make it. Yes.
Okay. But yeah, you gave me the idea for this, and hell, might only 4 people show up. I know that because 4 people have prepaid.
Yeah. So, now, Maya, what about you? Do you want to give your email address out there or anything like that?
Before you do, you can get these lovely hats here for only $19.95.
You can have this one, the Bowling Club, or the BS hat.
Can they have that? Well, that hat will cost about $50 because that's been on Maya's head while she stroked the pills over there.
Miss Bowling, stop.
Pills, $79.95, by the way.
Maya, what about you? You want to get your Twitter out there or anything? And Maya, what's with not following me on Twitter? What is that, Maya? Is that
sorry, Vince. Okay, so what happened?
Is that a statement? You're trying to make a statement or something, Maya? What are you doing over there?
Okay, so this is actually, I have to admit it. I'm sorry. It's Ash Wednesday. I got to be honest. I was actually following Jim Cornette, and I was not following you. I realized a few days ago.
And she's on my show, stroking all kinds of equipment.
Clamp it, pitiful.
And I realized. So my issue is I'm not usually on Twitter. It's fairly new to me. because he actually introduced me to it. He was like, "Oh, go ahead and tweet something," and I'm not used to following people back. I just don't check it that often. I realized I wasn't following you. I also realized that I was still following Jim Cornette, which I will change. I did follow you. I also tweeted you, and I said that if I didn't follow you, he was going to fire me.
Yeah,
so.
I threatened her with her job. I said, not fire the boss. You follow the boss man, or you will be fired.
Hold on, Mr. Bolin, because you just exposed yourself once again.
The turtle head? No, I didn't.
Because I catch everything. I catch everything, Mr. Bolin. You just said, after we just ripped Sean Hannity a new one, you just said that Maya is now tweeting for me, so I can make the statement when I get all kinds of lashback. I did not know that was tweeted out.
I didn't know.
Very nice.
Maya did. And you've done that to me how many times? Oh, there was one thing that she wrote that was just the most embarrassing damn thing in the world. She had one of my fans thinking that I had a sexual thing for him. I said him, and she said this guy saying that I had a thing for him.
I don't remember that.
I didn't find it out for like a week, and he blocked me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is breaking news. That is the headline for this show. Mr. Bolin comes out of the closet after how many years, Mr. Bolin? 50 what now?
57.
57 years, Mr. Bolin comes out of the closet. I'm telling you right now, that's
love
my head.
Thy neighbor, love thy man is what I always say. Hey, I got one more thing for you. Maya has outdone me on Twitter. I think she may have outdone you on Twitter. This is scary. How many followers you got on Twitter?
Like 12. I got nothing. I got like 200 and something.
200 and something followers. I've got 7,600. You've got 50 something thousand. Maya made a tweet. Tell the story, because I was humiliated by this.
All right. Well, you know what a hashtag game is, correct?
No, I don't. No.
Okay. So if you ever go to trending on Twitter, you will see a lot of hashtags, and some of them are like a game. Like this one was called, and sorry, Jeff Lane, he might have to bleep this, replace love with anal, ANAL. And it was, you were supposed to take a saying that had the word love in it.
A saying or a title.
A saying, a title, a name, whatever, and you would replace the literal word love with the word anal. So a lot of people were tweeting, for example, Courtney anal and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So you get the feel of the game.
Right.
You go through it, it's hilarious. So I, participating in every hashtag game in history, tweeted anal thy neighbor. And I got over 300 likes.
Goes nuts. I've never had 350 likes in my life. I've never had 54 retweets in my life. I'm looking at her. You got no followers and all these for anal thy neighbor. So I'm trying to top it. I'm just throwing them out one right after another.
He starts trying to top it 3 days after the game.
Yeah, the game's been over for 3 days. Anal is a mini splendored thing. And I'm just coming up with them left and right and got nothing. But the game.
I got something for you right now. We will top Maya's anal thy neighbor. Do you have a pen and a paper, Mr. Bolin?
Maya probably does. Hang on here. There's a bill. That's where they want. That's where they want me to pay Ma Bolin's last day in the home. That was nice of him. See if that pen works. Here we go.
All right, now, Mr. Bolin, since we were talking about the great,
this has been a very sexual show, by the way.
Since we were talking about the great Ron Howard earlier in the show, I suggest Opie anal. Opie anal.
Opie anal.
All right, Mr. Bolin, I just gave you another gem.
There we
That's
go.
The
and
one.
let me tell you something, Maya. You have 200 followers between anal thy neighbor and the things you're doing with that white pill on this show. You're going to have about 20,000 followers as soon as this airs. Maya,
triple me. She'll triple me.
Yeah, I'll hold you to that. All right. In a week, I'm going to have you. I'm going to press you for $130,000. If that's not true.
By the way, I'm very proud of this. We broke Bolin Alley live records, the one we do on Facebook. We broke all records that we had ever done. Maya was my only guest because Chris brings the ratings down. So we kicked him.
We had Chris on. We had Black Chris on.
Black Chris was on, which is 2 cow. But Chris just sits here and bitches for an hour about being on the show and tries to end it. So we just kicked him off the show altogether. We only want people that are on the show. We told 2 hilarious stories. And you may have seen the headlines. Jim Cornette masturbates to Dusty Rhodes. That's a legit story. You can find that on Facebook Live.
We have footage of it. We are still recovering it because it is on a VHS.
It's on video. It's on video. I recorded it in 1986.
Post it when we get it.
I recorded it in 1986, so we're going to recover that and get that out there. And the other huge story, Prince Harry The Prince Harry follows me on Twitter, and he wrote me, and through the conversation discovered that he wants me to donate to an orphanage foundation.
Don't give away too much.
Based out of Oregon. And Maya reads the letter, the entire conversation on Twitter between me and Prince Harry, and whether or not I'll be making a huge donation. Don't know if I drug you into this or not, but I did drag Mark Cuban into it.
Yeah, and I tweeted it out, and I said, if you guys want to see what it looks like when I pass out from laughter, watch this video, because that is actually both of us. You hear about a 15-second silence from us underneath the desk, just dying.
And I have an idea for a new tag team, and I wish you were still doing what you do, because I think we get mileage out of this. The new tag team is, Maya?
The Orphans.
The Orphan. Don't know where they're from. They won't be here tomorrow, but tonight we have the Orphans.
As bad as I want to ask about the Dusty Rhodes jack off tape, I cannot. I can't do that. I can't even ask about it. I can't even do that, Ms. Bolin. So we're going to end the show on that note.
We did not title this the Dusty Rhodes jack off tape, just so everyone knows.
Yeah,
it was done more tastefully.
Make sure to watch. You will enjoy it. It's on.
And I may do that, and that may be the title of this show.
I'll send you time tags so you don't have to sit through the whole hour and a half. But you got to hear the letter from Prince Harry, and you must hear the story about Jim Cornette masturbating to Dusty Rhodes.
Listen, the great and beautiful Maya, the great and beautiful Mr. Kenny Bolin. Thank you very much, you guys, for joining me on the show today.
Thank you.
We had a fantastic time as always.
All right, I will see everybody tomorrow, same bad time.
I'm gonna go get a tape of Terry Taylor, and you know what I'm gonna do.
Oy vey. Oy vey. Goodbye, everybody.
Good day.